Okay, so now going through the DAC rules briefly, this video is going to be going through the rules in detail with giving you examples. And just know that you could come up with hundreds of these for each agreement. I just tried to give you, 10 to 12, so we'll go through all. Okay, so rule number one, you must make an activity agreement. Okay, let me give you some ideas here. You could be writing down that you're going to do some weight training. I would even go more specific, put a dash and put what you're training. Is it legs? Is it upper body? You might put down, I'm going to do cardio. Again, be specific. What are you doing? A metabolic circuit? Am I going to go and walk on the treadmill? Am I just walking outside? Whatever. Okay, right? You could be writing down for an activity agreement that you're just going to do 10 push-ups in the morning and PM, that you're going to do stretching, that you're going to do outdoor play with the kids. Maybe you're going to go for a bike ride. It might be yoga. You might do 50 squats. It might be a rest day. It might be 10,000 steps. It can be anything. I just want you to have intention to have an activity agreement every single day. It could be that it's a rest day, because over time, if you see that every day is a rest day, you're going to go, okay, maybe I'm taking too many rest days. Maybe I need to be more active. Or maybe you're seeing, my gosh, all I do is, walk outside. I should push myself. Maybe I should do 50 push-ups or whatever. But have an activity agreement daily, okay? Rule 2, you must make a nutrition agreement. This is not just for people that are dieting. A nutrition agreement means everyone, because on the behavior side of this, even if you're not following a plan, you got to have some intention going into every day. You can't wake up just being a pinball in a pinball machine, because you will never have success. You won't keep the results that you've worked so hard for. So you must make a nutrition agreement. So for those of you that are, maybe you're just a client of mine, it might just be that you're following, your LBC meal plan, or maybe you're on that maintenance side and you're just going to write as your nutrition agreement that you're just tracking calories and you have a ceiling, no more than 2,000 calories. For me, no more than 2,170 calories. You could put, I'm going to eat X amount of protein per day. You could put, I'm going to eat 3 servings of vegetables. I'm going to put, I'm not going to have any bites, licks, or tastes. I'm going to behaviorally eat and have a food rule of no fried foods. I might put my drink limit on there. I'm not going to drink more than 2 drinks. Maybe you're going out to dinner the next day, because remember, you're doing this the night before. My nutrition agreement is when I'm going out, I'm going to share dessert. Maybe it might be when I go out, I'm going to fill up on veggies first. It might be no phone while eating. It might be, I need to track my calories in MyFitnessPal. It might be, my nutrition agreement is that I'm going to prep my meals. So hopefully those give you some ideas that these are things that maybe you're struggling with that you need to make an agreement to. Because remember, just writing it down is going to bring some awareness. You might still fail, and I don't want you to see these fails and these losses as, it's the end of the world. They're opportunities to learn, okay? So, and I will go over that in detail in the next video as to what you do when you do lose, but do see it that way. So those are some ideas for nutrition agreements. I know people can come up with more. It could be, I need to drink more water. Again, I'd be more specific, because remember, that's one of those rules, is to be specific and clarify, because you know what? Lazy self will come in, drink more water. Well, I had 2 cups. Push yourself. Give us some specifics there, and know that when you don't come close, it's still a loss. It's a loss. That's why you put down that number. You want to teach yourself that what you say matters, every little detail, okay? So that's the nutrition ones. Okay, then rule 3 is that you must select at least one of my suggested, okay? These are my suggested, and I'm open to suggestions, but these are the main ones. You must agree to an AM and PM gratitude. I suggest the 5-minute journal. I love it. It's been something I've used forever, so I think everyone should use it. You could do 10 minutes of meditation. You could do 10 pages or 20 minutes of reading, either or, in a personal development book, self-help, something there that betters yourself. You could do future self-journaling, which I have information for in our community, or there'll be, information throughout the teaching on this. You could do 10 minutes of visualization. You could do 10 minutes of prayer/worship/devotion time. You could do 10 minutes of anchoring, which I'll also be teaching how to anchor. You could do a cold shower with Wim Hof breathing. It's usually about a 2-minute thing. And then I'm open to suggestions. So you must select at least one of those. So gratitude, meditation, visualization, journaling, prayer time, anchoring, one of those. And over time, I want you to increase this. I do all of these, but I want you to be at least pushing for one. That's my rule with the DACs, okay? Then you must select one agreement of your choice. And people are like, what do I choose? Okay. I usually try to use that internal dialogue to guide me. What am I nagging myself at? What have I been talking down to myself? Have I been eating too many sweets? Have I been, having too many BLTs? Have I not been playing with my kids enough? Have I, not been organized? Have I been spending too much time on social media? Any of those areas that nag will guide you into coming up with an agreement. So some of the ones that I just gave as some ideas: no complaining. Because remember, like, while you can't really measure, like, okay, I wasn't perfect, it does make you more aware. You go into the next day with intention of, I'm not going to complain tomorrow. This matters to me. Okay. The no snooze button, not going to snooze. No social media before 8 a.m. Or mine is no social media for the first hour. Maybe a play with kids rule or agreement. Maybe maybe a PM self-care routine. Maybe you need to reach out to 2 friends. Maybe a specific task or errand you've put off. Like mine was, like that Nexus card that one time, how good it felt to finally get that one done. Maybe it's just getting your water in. Maybe you want to put down that you want to compliment 3 people, and some of these, like I said, the ones that you agree upon, that, I let it change. If it's a habit, maybe I'll keep that in there for a while, obviously, but maybe I'm going out of town and I'm at like a workshop, I'll put on here, introduce myself to 5 people, because by putting that down the night before, it keeps me more intentional. So think about where you can, get creative with this one. Okay, so that's the one that you just get to choose any. It doesn't have to be one of these, just anything you think that betters yourself, okay? Now, the DACs, as I mentioned, the next rule is that it must be agreed upon the day prior. So you need to be doing these the night before. What I do is, in the morning when I'm looking over my DAC for the day, I already make it part of my task in the morning to write out a skeleton of my DAC, meaning usually like I already know what my activity agreement's going to be and my nutrition agreement. And then I might like leave a few of them blank and then kind of leave that for later that night, because that night is when I'll actually really reflect it and look at it and go, what do I need to add to this? What's going to really make me feel like I win my day? Okay. The next rule, 6, only make agreements you intend to keep. You'd think I would not even have to say this, but people tend to look at others and go, well, maybe I should be doing, I should be meditating. And it's just not something that you chose for yourself. You're not going to enjoy it. So, while I do have the suggested agreements, and I can promise you there's at least one of those in there that will better yourself, gratitude being one that everyone can do. So just know that, look into all of those and look into the things that you're doing and make sure that you have a good reason behind it. If you're failing or you're losing a lot with it, like when I did mine for face washing, I really needed to either stack it onto another habit, or I didn't add that to my DAC until my DAC started to matter to me. Because when you are, in the beginning, you're going to have to give some false excitement behind the card, or else it's not going to matter to you because you've not been doing it that long. Okay. So next rule, make sure you are specific and clarify up front. Details, details, details. Don't put on there no social media in the morning. Define morning. Drink more water. How much water? Go for a walk. How long of a walk? All of these things really matter, because believe me, you can trick yourself. And I don't want you to. I want you to have this put in there when your best self is really deciding on what agreements you need to make. Okay. And then if the agreement needs to, has to be broken or no longer serves you, renegotiate immediately. Maybe we had that example. Another one will be like, let's say that you have on there that your nutrition is, you had planned to go, you know, to like a steakhouse. So you'd already put down your food rules. You're like, okay, for my nutrition agreement, when we go out, I'm ordering a steak and a baked potato, and I'm going to share this dessert specifically, blah, blah, blah. And then you get the call from your girlfriend and she's like, guess what? I know we're like 10 minutes out, but we're going to Chinese buffet. Immediately, you know that this is not going to work, the food rules you had. Don't go in with no rules. You will make the mistake of going in and being like, okay, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. No, immediately, the moment that you realize that you're going to need to break an agreement, renegotiate it, put it in writing. If you don't have access to like your card, put it in your notes in your phone. Something that puts that intent out. Okay, now I'm going to Chinese buffet. I'm going to stay away from fried foods. I'm only going to get, you know, I'm going to eat a salad bar first. I'm going to, you know, whatever it might be. I'm limiting myself to one drink and I'm not having dessert. Whatever. Just put the rules down so that you have that going in. Again, then it gives you something to measure at the end of that night. If you don't, no one ever really knows how they're winning. This is why these agreements matters. It gives you something to focus on, and then you measure that, okay? So that's the last one. Those are the 8. As you'll see on the cards, you can add more than just those 5, okay? I usually have anywhere from, you know, it could be 5, but it could be 12 on one day. Just know that, you know, you don't want to be too heavy on it if you see yourself failing. I'm going to talk about that in that last video. It'll be short about what to do when you lose. But know that you need to be making this a realistic thing while pushing, okay? So hope this helps. Look forward to you starting them.